Yet better thus and known to be contemned, than still contemned and flattered. To be worst, the lowest and most dejected thing of fortune stands still in aspirance, lives not in fear. The lamentable changes from the best, the worst returns to laughter. Welcome, then, thou unsubstantial air that I embrace. The wretch that thou hast blown unto the worst owes nothing to thy blasts. But who comes here? My father poorly led. World, world, oh world. But that thy strange mutations make us hate thee, life would not yield to age.
Oh, good my lord, I have been your tenant and your father's tenant these 80 years.
Away, get thee away, good friend, be gone. Thy comforts can do me no good at all. Thee they may hurt.
You cannot see your way.
I have no way, and therefore want no eyes. I stumbled when I saw, full oft 'tis seen our means secure us, and our mere defects prove our commodities. Oh, dear son Edgar, the food of thy abused father's wrath. Might I but live to see thee in my touch, I'd say. I had eyes again.
How now? Who's there?
Oh gods, who is it can say I am at the worst? I am worse than e'er I was.
'Tis more poor mad Tom.
And worse I may be yet. The worst is not so long as we can say this is the worst.
Fellow, where goest?
Is it a beggar man?
Madman, and beggar too.
He has some reason, else he could not beg. In the last night's storm I such a fellow saw, which made me think a man a worm. My son came then into my mind, and yet my mind was then scarce friends with him. I have heard more since, as flies to wanton boys are we to the gods. They kill us for their sport.
How should this be? Bad is the trade that must play fool to sorrow, angering itself in others. Bless thee, master!
Is it the naked fellow?
Aye, my lord.
Then prithee get thee away. If for my sake thou wilt overtake us, hence a mile or twain in the way toward Dover, do it for ancient love, and bring some covering for this naked soul, which I'll entreat to lead me.
Alack, sir, he's mad.
'Tis the time's plague when mad men lead the blind. Do as I bid thee, or rather do thy pleasure. Above rest, be gone.
I'll bring him the best peril I have. Come on at what will.
Sirrah, naked fellow.
Poor Tom's a cold. I cannot daub it further.
Come hither, fellow.
And yet I must. Bless thy sweet eyes, they bleed.
Knowest thou the way to Dover?
Both stile and gate, horseway and footpath, poor Tom hath been scared out of his good wits. Bless thee, good man's son, from the foul fiend. 5 fiends have been in poor Tom at once, of lust as Abdicate, Habitant, Prince of Dumbness, Mahu of stealing, Modo of murder, Flibbertigibbet of mopping and mowing, who since possess chambermaids and waiting women. So bless thee, master.
Here, take this purse, thou who the heavens' plagues have humbled to all stokes, that I am wretched, makes thee the happier. Heavens deal so still, Let the superfluous and lust-dieted man that slaves your ordinance, that will not see, because he does not feel your power quickly. So distribution should undo excess, and each man have enough. Dost thou know Dover?
Aye, master.
There is a cliff whose high and bending head looks fearfully in the confined deep. Bring me but to the very brim of it, and I'll repair the misery thou dost bear with something rich about me. From that place I shall no leading need.
Give me thy arm. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
Welcome, my lord. I marvel our mild husband not met us on the way. Now, where's your master?
Madam, within, but never a man so changed. I told him in the army that was landed. He smiled at it. I told him you were coming. His answer, the worse. Of Gloucester's treachery and the loyal service of his son. When I informed him, then he called me sot, and I told him I had turned and told me I had turned the wrong side out. What he most should dislike seems pleasant to him. What like? Offensive.
Then shall you go no further. It is the cowish terror of his spirit that dares not undertake. He'll not feel wrongs which tie him to an answer. Our wishes on the way may prove effects. Back, Edmund, to my brother. Hasten his musters and conduct his powers. I must change names at home and give the distaff into my husband's hands. This trusty servant shall pass between us. Ere long, you are like to hear, if you dare venture in your own behalf, a mistress's command. Wear this, spare speech. Decline your head. This kiss, if it durst speak, would stretch thy spirits up into the air. Conceive, and fare thee well.
Yours in the ranks of death.
My most dear Gloucester. Oh, the difference of man and man. To thee a woman's services are due. My fool usurps my body.
Madam, here comes my lord.
I have been worth the whistle.
Oh, Goneril, you are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face. I fear your disposition, that nature, which contemns its origin, cannot be bordered certain in itself. She that herself will silver and disbrand from her material sap her force, must wither and come to deadly use.
No more. The text is foolish.
But wisdom and goodness to the vile seem vile. Filths savor but themselves. What have you done? Tigers, not daughters. What have you performed? A father and a gracious aged man, whose reverence even a headlocked bear would lick. Most barbarous, most degenerate have you madded. Could my good brother suffer you do it? Man, a prince, by him so benefited, if that the heavens do not their visible spirits send quickly down to tame these vile offenses, it will come. Humanity must perforce prey on itself like monsters of the deep.
Milk-livered man, thou bear'st a cheek for blows, a head for wrongs, who hast not in thy brows an eye discerning thine honor from thy suffering, that not knowest fools do those villains pity who are punished ere they have done their mischief. Where's thy drum? France spreads his banners in our noiseless land with plumed helm, that thy state begins to threat, whilst thou, a moral fool, sit still and cries, alack, why does he so?
Flee thyself, devil! Proper deformity shows not in the fiend so horrid as in a woman.
Oh, vain fool!
Thou changed and self-covered thing, for shame. Be monster not by feature, were't my fitness to let these hands obey my blood. They are apt enough to dislocate and tear thy flesh and bones. However thou art, fiend, a woman's shape doth shield thee.
Mary, your manhood, mew.
What news?
Oh, my good lord, the Duke of Cornwall's dead, slain by his servant going to put out the other eye of Gloucester.
Gloucester's eyes?
A servant that he bred, thrilled with remorse, opposed against the act, bending his sword to his great master, who, thereat enraged, flew on him, and amongst them felled him dead, but not without that harmful stroke, which since hath plucked him after.
Shows you are above, you justices. That these our nether crimes so speedily can venge. But oh, poor Gloucester. Lost he his other eye?
Both, my lord. This letter, madam, craves a speedy answer. 'Tis from your sister.
One way, I like this well, but being widow and my Gloucester with her, may all the building in my fancy pluck upon my hateful life. Another way, the news is not so tart. I'll read and answer.
Where was his son when they did take his eyes?
Come with my lady hither.
He is not here?
No, my good lord. I met him back again.
Knows he the wickedness?
Aye, my good lord. 'Twas he informed against him and quit the house on purpose, that their punishment might have the freer course.
Gloucester, I live to thank thee for the love thou showedst the king, and to revenge thine eyes. Come hither, friend. Tell me more thou knowest.
Why the King of France is so suddenly gone back, know you no reason?
Something he left imperfect in the state, which since his coming forth is thought of, which imports the kingdom to so much fear and danger that his personal return was most required and necessary.
Who hath he left behind him as general?
The Marshal of France, Monsieur LEAR.
Did your letters pierce the Queen to any demonstration of grief?
She took them, read them in my presence, and now and then an ample tear trilled down her delicate cheek, It seemed she was a queen over her passion, who most rebel-like thought to be king over her.
Oh, then it moved her.
Not to a rage. Patience and sorrow strove who should express her goodliest. You have seen sunshine and rain at once. Her smiles and tears were like a better way. Those happy smilets that played upon her ripe lip seemed not to know what guests were in her eyes, which parted thence as pearls from diamonds dropped. In brief, sorrow would be a rarity most beloved if all should so become it.
Made she no verbal question?
Faith, once or twice she heaved the name of Father, panting forth as it pressed her heart, cried, Sisters, sisters, shame of ladies, sisters, Kent, father, sisters, what is the storm? Hear the night, let pity not be believed. There she shook the holy water from her heavenly eyes, and clamor moistened. Then away she started to deal with the grief alone.
It is the stars. The stars above govern our conditions. Else one's self-mate and make could not beget such different issues. You spoke not with her since?
No.
Was this before the king returned?
No since.
Well, sir, the poor distressed LEAR's in the town, who sometime in his better tune remembers what we are come about, and by no means will yield to see his daughter.
Why, good friend?
A sovereign shame so elbows him, his own unkindness that stripped her from his benediction, turned her to foreign casualties, gave her dear rights to his dog-hearted daughters. These things sting his mind so venomously that burning shame detains him from Cordelia.
Alack, poor gentleman.
Of Albany's and Cornwall's powers you heard not.
'Tis so, they are afoot.
Well, sir, I'll bring you to our master LEAR and leave you to attend him. Some dear cause will in concealment wrap me up a while. When I am known aright, you shall not grieve lending me this acquaintance. I pray you, go along with me.
Alack, 'tis he. Why, he was met even now as mad as the vexed sea, singing aloud, crowned with rank fumiter and furrow weeds, with hardocks, hemlock, nettles, cuckoo flowers, darnel, and all the idle weeds that grow in our sustaining corn. A century send forth, search every acre in the high-grown field, and bring him to our eye. What can man's wisdom in the restoring of his bereaved sense? He that helps him take all my outward worth.
There is means, madam. Our foster nurse of nature is repose, the which he lacks. That to provoke in him are many simples operative, whose power will close the eye of anguish.
Blessed secrets, all you unpublished virtues of the earth, spring with my tears. Be aidant and remediate in the good man's distress. Seek for him, lest his ungoverned rage dissolve the life that wants the means to lead it.
News, madam. The British powers are marching hitherward.
Known before. A preparation stands in expectation of them. Dear father, it is thy business that I go about. Therefore, great France, my mourning and importune tears hath pitied. No blown ambition doth our arms incite, but love, dear love, in our aged father's right. Soon may I hear and see him.
But are my brother's powers set forth?
Aye, madam.
Himself in person there?
Madam, with much ado, your sister is the better soldier.
Lord Edmund spake not with your lord at home?
No, madam.
What might import my sister's letter to him?
I know not, lady.
Faith, he is posted hence on serious matter. It was great ignorance Gloucester's eyes being out to let him live. Where he arrives, he moves all hearts against us. Edmund, I think, is gone, in pity of his misery, to dispatch his nighted life. Moreover, to descry the strength of the enemy.
I must needs after him, madam, with my letter.
Our troops set forth tomorrow. Stay with us. The ways are dangerous.
I may not, madam. My lady charged my duty in this business.
Why should she write to Edmund? Might not you transport her purposes by word? Belike, some things, I know not what. Lovely much, let me unseal the letter.
Madam, I had rather...
I know your lady does not love her husband. I am sure of that. And at her late being here, she saved strange Iliads and most speaking looks to noble Edmund. I know you are of her bosom.
I, madam?
I speak in understanding. You are, I know it. Therefore, I do advise you take this note. My lord is dead. Edmund and I have talked, and more convenient is he for my hand than for your lady's. You may gather more if you do find him. Pray you, give him this. And when your mistress hears thus much from you, I pray, desire her call her wisdom to her. So fare you well. If you do chance to hear of that blind traitor, preferment falls on him that cuts him off.
Would I could meet him, madam. I would show him what party I do follow.
Fare thee well.
When shall I come to the top of that same hill?
You do climb up it now. Look how we labor.
Methinks the ground is even.
Oh, horrible step. Hark, do you hear the sea?
No, truly.
Why then, your other senses grow imperfect by your eyes' anguish.
So may it be indeed. Methinks thy voice is altered, and thou speakest in better phrase and matter than thou didst.
You're much deceived? In nothing am I changed but in my garments.
Methinks you're better spoken.
Come on, sir. Here's the place. Oh, stand still. Oh, how fearful and dizzy 'tis to cast one's eyes so low. The crows and crows that wing the midway air show scarce so gross as beetles. Halfway down hangs one that gathers samphire. Dreadful trade. Methinks he seems no bigger than his head. The fishermen that walks upon the beach appear like mice, and yon tall anchoring bark diminished to her cock-a-buoy almost too small for sight. The murmuring surge that on the unnumbered idle pebble chafes cannot be heard so high. I'll look no more, at least my brain turning the deficient side topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
Give me your hand. You are now within a foot of the extreme verge. For all beneath the moon would I not leap upright.
Let go of my hand. Here, friend, is another purse. In it, a jewel, well worth a poor man's taking. Fairies and gods prosper it with thee. Go thou further off, bid me farewell, and let me hear thee going.
Now fare you well, good sir.
With all my heart.
Why I do trifle thus with his despair is done to cure it.
Oh, oh, you mighty gods! This world I do renounce, and in your sights shake patiently my great affliction off. If I could bear it longer and not fall to quarrel with your great opposeless wills, my snuff and loathed part of nature should burn itself out. If Edgar live, oh, bless him. Now, fare thee well. Ah!
Gone, sir! Farewell! And yet I know not how conceit may rob the treasury of life when life itself yields to the theft. Had he been where he thought, by his hand thought, been passed alive or dead. Ho, you, sir! Friend! Hear you, sir! Speak! Thus might he pass indeed. Yet he revives. What are you, sir?
Away! Let me die!
Hadst thou been aught but gossamer, feathers, air, so many fathom down, precipitating, thou'lt shivered like an egg, but thou dost breathe, hast heavy substance, bleeds not, speak'st, art sound. 10 masts at each make not the altitude which thou hast perpendicularly fell. Thy life's a miracle. Speak yet again.
But have I fallen or no?
From the dread summit of this chalky bourne, look at height. The shrill gorge locked so far cannot be seen or heard. Do but look up.
Alack, I have no eyes. Is wretchedness deprived that benefit to end itself by death? 'Twas yet some comfort when misery could beguile the tyrant's rage and frustrate his proud will.
Give me your arm. So, how is it? Feel your legs. You stand.
Too well. Too well.
This is above all strangeness. Upon the crown of the cliff, what thing was that which parted from you?
A poor, unfortunate beggar.
As I stood here below, methought his eyes were 2 full moons. He had 1,000 noses, horns whelked and waved like the enraged sea. It was some fiend. Therefore, thou happy father, think that the clearest gods, who make them honors of men's impossibilities, have preserved thee.
I do remember now. Henceforth, I'll bear affliction till it do cry out itself, enough, enough, and die. That thing you speak of, I took it for a man. Often 'twould say, the fiend, he led me to that place.
Bear free and patient thoughts. But who comes here? The safer sense will ne'er accommodate his master thus.
No, they cannot touch me for coining. I am king himself.
Oh, thou side-piercing sight.
Nature's above art in that respect. There's your press money. That fellow handles his bow like a crow-keeper. Draw me a clothier's yard. Look, a mouse. This piece of toasted cheese'll do it. There's my gauntlet. I'll prove it on a giant bringing up the brown bills. Oh, well flown bird, dull clout. Why? Give the word.
Sweet marjoram.
Pass.
I know that voice.
Ha! Goneril with a white beard? They flattered me like a dog and told me I had white hairs in my beard ere the black ones were there. To say aye and no to everything that I said aye and no to was not good divinity. When the rain came to wet me once and the wind to make me chatter, when the thunder would not peace at my bidding, there I found 'em, there I smelt 'em out go true. They are not of men of their words. They told me I was everything. That is a lie. I am not a Q-proof.
The trick of that voice I do well remember. Is it not the king?
Aye, every inch a king. When I do stare, I see the subject quakes. I pardon that man's life. What was thy cause? Adultery. Thou shalt not die for adultery. No, the wren goes to it, and the small gilded fly does leisure in my sight. Let copulation thrive. For Gloucester's bastard son was kinder to his father than my daughters got between the lawful sheets. To luxury pell-mell, for I lack soldiers. Behold yon simpering dame, whose face between her forks presages snow that minces virtue and does shake the head to hear the pleasure's name. The fit shoe nor the soiled horses go to it with more riotous appetite. Down from the waist they are centaurs, though women all above. But to the girdle do the gods inherit, beneath is all the fiends. There's hell, there's darkness, there is the sulphurous pit, burning, scalding, stench, consumption, 555, pour. Give me an ounce of civet, good a pocket. Carry, sweeten my imagination. There's money for thee.
Oh, let me kiss that hand.
Let me wipe it first. It smells of mortality.
Oh, ruined piece of nature, this great world shall so wear out not. Dost thou know me?
I remember thine eyes well enough. Dost thou squint at me? No. Do thy worst, blind Cupid, I'll not love. Read thou this challenge. Mark but the penning of it.
Were all the letters suns, I could not see.
I would not take this from report. It is, and my heart breaks at it.
Read.
What? With the case of eyes?
Oh, ho! Are you there with me? No eyes in your head, nor money in your purse. Your eyes are in a heavy case, your purse in a light, yet you see how the world goes.
I see it feelingly.
What, art mad? A man may see this world, goes with no eyes. Look with thine ears. See how yon justice rails upon yon simple thief. Hearken thine ear. Change places, and handy-dandy, which is justice, which is the thief. Thou hast seen a farmer's dog bark at a beggar?
Aye, sir.
And the creature run from the cur. There thou mightst behold the great image of authority, a dog's obeyed in office. Oh, thou rascal beetle, Hold thy bloody hand. Why dost thou lash that whore? Strip thy own back. Thou dost lusts to use her in that kind for which thou whipst her. Usurer hangs the cozener. To tattered clothes small vices do appear, robes and furred gowns hide all. Plate sin with gold, and the strong lance of justice hurtless breaks. Arms it in rags, a pygmy's straw does pierce it. None does offend, none, I say, none, I'll able 'em. Take that of me, my friend, who have the power to seal the accuser's lips, give thee glass eyes, and like a scurvy politician, seem to see the things thou dost not. No. Ooh, pull off these boots. Harder. So.
Oh, matter and impertinency mixed, reason and madness.
If thou wilt weep for fortune, take my eyes. I know thee well enough. Thy name is Gloucester. Thou must be patient. We came crying hither. Thou know'st the first time we smell the air, we wail and cry. I will preach to thee, Mark.
Alack the day!
When we are born, we cry that we are come to this great stage of fools. That's a good block. It were a delicate stratagem to shoe a troop of horses with felt. I'll put it in proof. And when I have stolen up these son-in-laws, then kill.
Oh, here he is. Lay hand upon him. Sir, your most dear daughter.
No rescue? What, a prisoner? I am even the natural lord of fortune? Use me well. You shall have ransom. Let me have, surgeon. I am cut to the brains.
You shall have anything.
No seconds? All myself? Why, this would make a man of salt, to use his eyes for garden water pots, I in laying autumn's dust. I will die bravely, like a smug bridegroom. What? I will be jovial. Come, I am a king. Masters, know you that?
You are a royal one, and we obey you.
Ah, then there's life in it. Come and you get it. You shall get it by running.
A sight most pitiful in the meanest wretch past speaking of in a king. Thou hast a daughter who redeems nature from the general curse which twain have brought her to.
Hail, gentle sir.
Sir Speed you, what's your will?
Do you hear aught, sir, of a battle toward?
Most sure and vulgar. Everyone hears that which can distinguish sound.
But, by your favor, how near's the other army?
Near and on speedy foot. The main descry stands on the hourly thought.
I thank you, sir, that's all.
Though that the queen on special cause is here, her army is moved on.
I thank you, sir.
You ever gentle gods, take my breath from me. Let not my worser spirit tempt me again to die before you, please.
Well, pray you, father.
Now, good sir, what are you?
A most poor man, made to fortune's blows, who, by the art of known and filling sorrows, am pregnant to good pity. Give me your hand. I'll lead you to some biding.
Hearty thanks, the bounty and the benison of heaven to boot and boot.
A proclaimed prize. Most happy thy eyeless head of thine was first framed flesh to raise my fortunes. Thou old unhappy traitor, briefly thy myself remember. Thy sword is out, that must destroy thee.
Now let thy friendly hand put strength enough to it.
Wherefore, bold peasant, darest thou support a published traitor? Hence, lest the affection of his fortune take, like hold on thee. Let go his arm.
He'll not let go, Zir, without further occasion.
Let go, slave, or thou diest.
Good gentlemen, go your gut, and let poor Volk pay us, and should a had been swagged out of my life, 'twould not have been so long as 'tis by a fortnight. Nay, come not near the old man, keep out. Chevalier, or I shall try whether your costard or my ballow be the harder. Till be plain with you.
Out, dunghill!
Chill, pick your teeth, Zer. Come, no matter for your foins.
Slave, thou hast killed me. Villain, take my purse. Oh, if ever thou thrive, bury my body, and give my letters, which thou findest about me, to Edmund. Oh, Gloucester, seek him out upon the English party. Oh, untimely death. Death.
I know thee well. A serviceable villain is duteous to the vices of thy mistress as badness would desire.
What? Is he dead?
Sit you down, father. Rest you. Let's see these pockets. The letters that he speaks of may be my friends. He's dead. I am only sorry he had no other debtsman. Let us see. Leave, gentle wax, and manners blame us not. To know our enemies' minds, we rip their hearts, their papers is more lawful. Let our reciprocal vows be remembered. You have many opportunities to cut him off. If your will want not, time and place will be fruitfully offered. There is nothing done if he return the conqueror. Then am I the prisoner, and his bed my jail, from the loath warmth whereof deliver me and supply the place for your labor. Your wife, so I would say, affectionate servant, and for you, her own for venture. Oh, indistinguished space of woman's will, a plot upon her virtuous husband's life, and the exchange my brother, here in the sands thee I'll rake up the most unsanctified of murderous letters, and in the mature time with his ungracious paper strike the sight of the death practiced duke, for him 'tis well that of thy death and business I can tell.
The king is mad. How stiff is my vile sense that I stand up and have ingenious feeling of my heart's sorrows. Better I would distract. So should my thoughts be severed from my griefs, and woes by wrong imaginations lose the knowledge of themselves.
Give me your hand, for all of me thinks I hear the beaten drum. Come, father, I'll bestow you with a friend.
Oh, thou good Kent, how shall I live and work to match thy goodness? My life will be too short, and every measure fail me.
To be acknowledged, madam, is o'erpaid. All my reports go with the modest truth, nor more, no clipped, but so.
Be better suited. These weeds are memories of worser hours. I pray thee put them off.
Pardon, dear madam, yet to be known shortens my main intent. My boon I make it that you know me not, till time and I think meet.
And be it so, my good lady. How does the king?
Madam, sleep still.
Oh, you kind gods, hear this great breach in his abused nature. The untuned and jarring senses, oh, wind up of this child-changed father.
So please your majesty, that we may wake the king, he hath slept long.
Be governed by your knowledge, and proceed in the sway of your own will. Is he arrayed?
Aye, madam. In the heaviness of sleep, we put fresh garments on him.
Be by, good madam. When we do awake him, I doubt not of his temperance.
Very well.
Please you, draw near. Louder the music there.
Oh. My dear father, restoration, hang thy medicine on my lips, and let this kiss repair these violent harms that my two sisters have in thy reverence made.
Kind and dear princess.
Had you not have been their father, these white flakes did challenge pity of them. Was this a face to be opposed against the jarring winds, to stand against the deep dread bolted thunder and the most terrible and nimble stroke of quick cross lightning? To watch poor Perdu with this thine helm? My enemy's dog, though it had bit me, should have stood that night against my fire, and wast thou fain, poor father, to hovel thee with swine and rogues forlorn, in short and musty draw? Alack, alack, 'tis wonder that thy life and wits at once had not concluded all. You wake, speak to him?
Madam, to you, 'tis fittest.
How does my royal lord? How fares your majesty?
You do me wrong to make me out of the grave. Thou art a soul of bliss, but I am bound upon a wheel of fire that mine own tears do scald like molten lead.
Sir, do you know me?
You are a spirit, I know. Where did you die?
Still far wide.
He's scarce awake. Let him alone a while.
Where have I been? Where am I? Fair daylight? I am mightily abused. I should e'en die with pity to see another thus. I know not what to say. I will not swear these are my hands. Let's see. Yeah! I feel the pinprick. Would I were assured of my condition.
Look upon me, sir, and hold your hand in benediction o'er me. No, sir, you must not kneel.
Pray do not mock. I am very foolish, fond old man. 80 and upward, not an hour more nor less. And to deal plainly, I am not in my perfect mind. Methinks I should know you, and know this man. Yet I am doubtful, for I am mainly ignorant what place this is, and all the skill I have remembers not these garments. Nor I knew not where I did lodge last night. Do not laugh at me, for I am a man. I think this lady to be my child Cordelia.
And so I am. I am.
Your tears wet? Yes, faith, I pray, weep not. But if you have poison for me, I will drink it. I know you do not love me, but for your sisters have, as I do remember, done me wrong. You have some cause, they have not.
No cause. No cause.
Am I in France?
In your own kingdom, sir.
Do not abuse me.
Be comforted, good madam. The great rage you see is killed in him. And yet, it is danger to make him even owe the time he has lost. Desire him to go in. Trouble him no more till further settling.
Wilt please, your highness, walk?
You must bear with me. Pray you now forget and forgive. I am old and foolish.
Holds it true, then, that the Duke of Cornwall was so slain?
Most certain, sir.
Who is the conductor of his people?
As 'tis said, the bastard son of Gloucester.
They say Edgar, his banished son, is with the Earl of Kent in Germany.
Report is changeable. 'Tis time to look about. The powers of the kingdom approach apace.
The arbitrament is like to be bloody. Fare you well, sir.
My point and period will be throughly wrought, or well or ill, as this day's battles fought.
Know if the Duke, if his last purpose hold, or whether, since he is advised by aught to change the course, he's full of alteration and self-reproving, bring his constant pleasure.
Our sister's man is certainly miscarried.
'Tis to be doubted, madam.
Now, sweet lord, you know the goodness I intend upon you. Tell me but truly, but then speak the truth. Do you not love my sister?
In honored love.
But have you never found my brother's way to the forfended place?
That thought abuses you.
I'm doubtful that you have been conjunct and bosomed with her, as far as we call hers.
No, by my honor, madam.
And never shall endure her. Dear my lord, be not familiar with her.
Fear me not. She and the Duke, her husband.
I had rather lose the battle than that sister should loosen him and me.
A very loving sister, well bemet. Sir, this I heard. The king has come to his daughter, with others whom the rigor of our state forced to cry out. Where I could not be honest, I never yet was valiant. For this business, it touches us as France invades our land. Not bold the king, with others whom I fear most just and heavy causes make oppose.
Sir, you speak nobly.
Why is this reasoned?
Combined together against the enemy. For these domestic and particular broils are not the question here.
Let's then determine with the ancient of war on our proceeding.
I shall attend you presently at your tent.
Sister, you'll go with us?
No.
'Tis most convenient. Pray, go with us.
Oh, I know the riddle. I will go.
If e'er your grace had speech with man so poor, hear me one word.
I'll overtake you. Speak.
Before you fight the battle, ope this letter. If you have victory, let the trumpet sound for him that brought it. Wretched though I seem, I can produce a champion that will prove what is avouched there. If you miscarry, your business of the world hath so an end and machination ceases. Fortune love you.
Stay till I have read the letter.
I was forbid it. When time shall serve, let but the herald cry, and I'll appear again.
Why? Fare thee well. I will o'erlook thy paper.
The enemies in view, draw up your powers. Here is a guess of their true strength and forces by diligent discovery. But your haste is now urged on you.
We will greet the time.
To both these sisters I have sworn my love, each jealous of the other as the stung are of the adder. Which of them shall I take? Both? One? Or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates, makes mad her sister Goneril, and hardly shall I carry out my side, her husband being alive. Now then, we'll use his countenance for the battle, which being done, let her who would be rid of him devise his speedy taking off. As for the mercy which he intends to Lear and to Cordelia, the battle done and they within our power shall never see his pardon. For my state stands on me to defend, not to debate.
Here, Father, take the shadow of this tree for your good host. Pray that the right may thrive if ever I return to you again. I'll bring you comfort.
Grace go with you, sir.
Away, old man, give me thy hand. Away, King Lear hath lost, and he and his daughter ta'en. Give me thy hand, come on.
No further, sir. A man may rot, even here.
What? In ill thoughts again? Men must endure their going hence, even as their coming hither. Rightness is all. Come on.
And that's true too.
Some officers take them away. Good God, until their greater pleasures first be known, that are to censure them.
We are not the first who with best meaning have incurred the worst. For thee, oppressed king, I am cast down. Myself would else outfrown false fortune's frown. Shall we not see these daughters and these sisters?
Oh, no. Come, let's away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds of the cage. When thou dost ask my blessing, I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies, and hear poor rogues talk of courting whose end we'll talk with them too. Loses and who wins, who's in, who's out, and take upon the mysteries of things, as if we were God's spies, and will wear out. In a walled prison packed in sects of great ones and ebb and flow by the moon.
Take them away.
Upon such sacrifices, my Cordelia, the gods themselves throw incense. Have I caught thee? He that parts us shall bring a brand from heaven and fire us hence like foxes. Wipe thine eyes, and good years shall devour them flesh and fell, ere they shall make us weep. We'll see him starved first. Come.
Come hither, captain. Hark! Take thou this note. Go, follow them to prison. One step I have advanced thee. If thou dost as this instructs thee, thou dost make thy way to noble fortunes. Know thou this, that men are as the time is. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Thy great employment will not bear question. Either say thou'lt do it, or thrive by other means.
I'll do it, my lord.
About it? And right happy when that's done. Mark, I say instantly, and carry it so as I have set it down.
I cannot draw a cart, nor eat dried oats. If it be man's work, I'll do it.
You have showed today your valiant strain, and fortune led you well. You have the captives or the opposites of this day's strife. I do require them of you, so to use them as we shall find the merits and our safety may equally determine.
Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention, an appointed guard whose age had charms in it, whose title more to pluck the common bosom on his side and turn our impressed lances in our eyes which do command them. With him I sent the queen, my reason all the same, and they are ready tomorrow, or at further space, to appear where you shall hold your session. At this time we sweat and bleed. The friend hath lost his friend, and the best quarrels in the heat are cursed by those that feel their sharpness. The question of Cordelia and her father requires a fitter place.
Sir, by your patience, I hold you but a subject of this war, not as a brother.
That's as we list to grace him. Methinks our pleasure might have been demanded ere you had spoke so far. He led our powers, bore the commission of my place and person, the which immediacy may well stand up and call itself your brother.
Not so hot. In his own grace he doth exalt himself more than in your edition.
In my rights, by me invested, he compares the best.
That were the most if he should husband you.
Jesters do oft prove prophets.
Holla, holla, that eye that told you so looked but a squint.
Lady. Oh, I'm not well. Else I should answer from a full-flowing stomach. General, take thou my soldiers, prisoners, patrimony, dispose of them, of me. The walls is thine. Witness the world that I create thee here, my lord and master.
Mean you to enjoy him?
But this alone lies not in your goodwill,
nor in thine, Lord.
Half-blooded fellow.
Let the drum strike, and prove my title thine.
Stay yet, hear reason. Edmund, I arrest thee on capital treason, and in thine this gilded serpent, for your claim, fair sister, I bar it in the interest of my wife. 'Tis she is contracted to this lord, and I, her husband, contradict your banns. If you will marry, make your loves me. My lady is bespoke.
Interlude.
Thou art armed, Gloucester. If none appear to prove upon thy person thy heinous manifest and many treasons, there is my pledge. I'll make it on thy heart. Ere I taste bread, thou art in nothing less than I have here proclaimed.
Sick. Oh, sick.
If not, I'll ne'er trust medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me traitor? Villain-like he lies. Call by the trumpet. He that dares approach on him, on you, who not I will maintain my truth and honor firmly.
A herald, ho!
A herald, ho! A herald!
Trust thy single virtue. For thy soldiers, all levied in my name, have in my name took their discharge.
Her sickness grows upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Come hither, herald. Let the trumpet sound and read out this.
Sound trumpet!
If any man of quality or degree within the lists of the army will maintain upon Edmund, supposed Earl of Gloucester, that he is a manifold traitor, let him appear by the third sound of the trumpet. He is bold in his defense. Again. Again.
Ask him his purposes, why he appears upon this call of the trumpet.
What are you? Your name, your quality, and why you answer this present summons.
Know my name is lost. By treason's tooth bare gnawed and canker bit. Yet am I noble as the adversary I come to cope.
Which is that adversary?
What's he that speaks for Edmund, Earl of Gloucester?
Himself. What sayest thou to him?
Draw thy sword, that if my speech offend a noble heart, thy arm may do thee justice. Here is mine. Behold, it is my privilege, the privilege of mine honors, my oath, and my profession. I protest. Maugre thy strength, place, youth, and eminence, despite the victor's sword, and fire new fortune. Thy valor and thy heart, thou art a traitor. False to thy gods, thy brother and thy father, conspirant gainst his high illustrious prince, and from the extremest upward of thy head to the descent and dust below thy foot, a most toad-spotted traitor. Say thou no, this sword, this arm, my best spirits are bent to prove upon thy heart, whereto I speak, thou liest.
In wisdom I should ask thy name, but since thy outside looks so fair and warlike, and that thy tongue, some say, of breeding breathes, what safe and nicely I might well delay by rule of knighthood, I disdain and spurn. Back do I toss these treasons to thy head. With a hell-hated lie I o'erwhelm thy heart, which, for they yet glance by and scarcely bruise, this blade of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak.
Save him. Save him.
This is practice, Gloucester. By the law of war, thou wast not bound to answer an unknown opposite. Thou art not vanquished, but cozened and beguiled.
Shut your mouth, dame, or with this paper shall I stopple it. Hold, sir, thou worse than any name, read thine own evil. No tearing, lady. I believe you know it.
Say if I do. The laws are mine, not thine. Who can arraign me for it?
Most monstrous! Oh, thou knowest this paper.
Ask me not what I know.
Go after her. She's desperate. Govern her.
What you have charged me with, That I have done, and more, much more. The time will bring it out. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou that hast this fortune on me? If thou art noble, I do forgive thee.
Let's exchange charity. I am no less in blood than thou art, Edmund. If more, the more thou'st wronged me. My name is Edgar, and thy father's son. The gods are just, and of our pleasant vices make instruments to plague us. The dark and vicious place where thee, he God, cost him his eyes.
Thou hast spoken right. 'Tis true, the wheel has come full circle. I am here.
Methought thy very gait did prophesy a royal nobleness. I must embrace thee. Let sorrow split my heart if ever I did hate thee, or thy father.
Worthy prince, I know it.
Where have you hid yourself? How have you known the miseries of your father?
By nursing them, my lord. List a brief tale, and when 'tis told, oh, that my heart would burst. The bloody proclamation to escape that followed me so near, oh, our lives' sweetness, that we the pain of death would hourly die rather than die at once, taught me to shift into a madman's rags, to assume a semblance that very dogs disdained, and in this habit met I my father with his bleeding rings. Their precious stones new lost became his guide, led him, begged for him, saved him from despair. Never, oh fault, revealed myself unto him until some half hour passed when I was armed. Not sure, though hoping of this good success, I asked his blessing and from first to last told him our pilgrimage. But his flawed heart, alack, too weak the conflict to support twixt two extremes of passion, joy and grief, burst smilingly.
This speech of yours hath moved me, and shall perchance do good. But speak you on. You look as you had something more to say.
If there be more willful, hold it in, for I am almost ready to dissolve, hearing of this.
This would have seemed a period to such as love, not sorrow. But another, to amplify too much, would make much more in top extremity. Whilst I was big in clamor, came there in a woman who, having seen me in my worst estate, shunned my abhorred society. But then, finding who 'twas that so endured, with her strong arms he fastened on my neck and bellowed out as she'd burst heaven. Threw her on my father, told the most piteous tale of Lear and her that ever ear received, which, in recounting her grief, grew puissant, and the strings of life began to crack. Twice then the trumpet sounded, and there I left her tranced.
But who was this?
Kent, sir, the banished Kent, who in disguise followed her enemy king and did him service improper for a slave.
Help! Help! Oh, help!
What kind of help?
Speak, man.
What means this bloody knife?
It's hot. It smokes. It came even from the heart of... Oh, she's dead.
Who's dead? Speak, man.
Your lady, sir, your lady, and her sister by her is poisoned. She confesses it.
I was contracted to them both. All three now marry in an instant.
Here comes Kent.
Produce the bodies. Be they alive or dead. This judgment of the heavens that makes us tremble touches us not with pity. Oh, the time will not allow the compliment which very manners urges.
I'm come to bid my king and master I good night. Is he not here?
Great things of us forgot. Speak, Edmund, where's the king? And where's Cordelia? Seest thou this object, Kent?
Alack, why thus?
Yet Edmund was beloved, the one the other poisoned for my sake after she slew herself.
Even so, cover their faces.
I pant for life. Some good I mean to do despite of mine own nature. Quickly send, be brief in it, to the castle, for my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia. Nay, send in time.
Run, oh, run!
To who, my lord? Who has the office? Send thy token of reprieve.
Well thought on. Take my sword, give it the captain.
Haste thee for thy life.
He hath commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her own despair that she foredid herself.
The gods defend her. Bear him hence a while.
Howl, 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 oh, you are men of stones, and are your tongues and eyes, I'd use them that heaven's vault should crack. She's gone forever. I know when one is dead and when one lives. She's dead as earth. Lend me a looking glass. If her breath will mist or stain the stone, why then she lives.
Is this the promised end?
Or image of that horror?
Fall and cease.
This feather stirs, she lives! If it be so, it is a chance which does redeem our sorrows that ever I have felt.
Oh, my good master.
Prithee, away.
'Tis noble Kent, your friend.
A plague upon you, murderers, traitors all! I might have saved her. No, she's gone forever. Cordelia, Cordelia, stay a while. What is't thou sayest? Her voice was ever soft, gentle and low, an excellent thing in a woman. I killed the slave that was a hang in her.
'Tis true, my lords, he did.
I have seen the day. With my good biting falchion, I would have made him skip. I'm old now, and these same crosses spoil me. Who are you? Mine eyes are not of the best, I'll tell you straight.
If fortune brag of two she loved and hated, one of them we behold.
This is a dull sight. Are you not Kent?
The same, your servant Kent.
Oh,
Where is your servant Caius?
He's a good fellow, I can tell you that. He'll strike and quickly, too. He's dead and rotten.
No, my good lord, I am the very man.
I'll see that straight.
That from your first of difference and decay have followed your sad steps.
You are welcome hither.
Nor no man else. All's cheerless, dark, and deadly. Your eldest daughters have fordone themselves and desperately are dead.
So I think.
He knows not what he says, and vain is it that we present us to him.
Very bootless.
Edmund is dead, my lord.
That's but a trifle here. You lords and noble friends know our intent. What comfort to this great decay may come shall be applied. For us, we will resign during the life of this old majesty. To him, our absolute power. You, to your rights, with boot and such addition as your honors have more than merited. All friends shall taste the wages of their virtue, and all foes the cup of their deservings. Oh, see, see.
And my poor fool is hanged. No life. Why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life, and thou no breath at all? I'll come no more, never, 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 never. Pray you undo this button. Thank you, sir. Do you see this? Look on her. Look, her lips. Look there, look there.
He faints. My lord. My lord.
Break, heart, I prithee, break.
Look up, my lord.
Vex not his ghost. Oh, let him pass. He hates him that would upon the rack of this tough world stretch him out longer.
He is gone indeed.
The wonder is he hath endured so long. He but usurped his life.
Bear them from hence. Our present business is general woe. Friends of my soul, you twain, rule in this realm, and the gorged state sustain.
I have a journey, sir, shortly to go. My master calls me. I must not say no.
In the weight of this sad time we must obey. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say. The oldest have borne most. We that are young shall never see so much, nor live so long.